Recording going? Alrighty. Okay, so now let's get warmed up with our usual. And, I was doing this thing with my beginners. And I think you guys would like it too. And you're kind of at the point where I think it would be useful to you. And it's when we were doing the double stops in the key of G. But instead of just doing the straight bows, we were doing this maneuver that I get people to do sometimes, which is to make 4 little notes using just your hand. See that? I'm dropping the bow using my fingers. I'm dropping that bow down on the strings and I'm getting a nice, strong, momentary note. So I'm doing, now with the beginners I was doing 4 per. So it sounds like this. Now what this is good for...
What notes were you hitting there? I was doing open strings and I realized I wasn't doing the right thing.
So this is, you know the double stop pattern that we usually do in the key of G?
Yeah, I do get a little confused with that sometimes. But anyway.
Oh, I'll put it up on my screen so you can see. Here, hold on now. Just let me put myself down.
So you mean you're going up, are you basically doing the arpeggio when you were doing that? Like G, B, D, G?
But with double stops. So G and D together. And then the B and the D together. And then the opens again. See that? And then the octave. Like that. Okay? Let's try it again.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully you're getting decent notes. Now, for most people, when they first start to try doing this, they get a little, sometimes the first couple of attempts is a kind of a bit of a scrape of a note instead of a good solid note. So you want to try to find that fine line between slip and grip as you're moving the bow and dropping it so that you get a nice little momentary note like a fiddle player. Okay? So let's try that again, everybody. Well, we didn't. Let's warm up our scale first. I think that might be a good idea. Let's just go up and down the scale and arpeggio and then we'll try a bunch of that. I'm going to put my tuner on so I can see if I'm trying to outdo myself all the time. And it's hard with Dad's fiddle. It's not exactly in tune. I might actually get it looked at because it's been moving a lot. Okay, so scale first. Here we go. Ready? Go! How's everybody feeling about their G? Is it mostly in there? Okay, good. Let's do the arpeggio now, and then we're going to try that double stop exercise. So right now, just the arpeggio. Ready, go. Okay, everybody fairly in tune and comfortable? All right, So let's try this thing. So we'll do, you know what, I think maybe we'll do eight little notes per set of double stops to give you some good practice. Because like I said, for most people, the first couple are just very scrapey notes, kind of like that, crunchy and scrapey. So what you want to go for is this. Everybody hearing that ring properly there, the string ringing out properly? Oh, there's Jocelyn, that's good. That's what we're going to do. Everybody's arriving eventually here. That's good. Okay, so let's give it a go. So we're going to do 8 little circles in front of your nose on each set of double stops. Jocelyn can listen to us as we're doing it, and she can give us a critique when we're done. Okay? Ready? Go! Next. 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 Hi, Jocelyn. Ah,
Hey, how's it going? Sorry, I'm late.
no problem. Okay, I'm going to give myself 78% on that one. I had some scrapies, I had some ones that didn't quite hit the mark with the bow, and I had some Editunis. And I tuned them as I went. I don't know if you guys heard me doing that, but the last one, the A3 and E2 together, I had to tune that as I went. I had to tune my G. And on the way down, the third, I had to tune my G as well. Maybe I have a problem with Gs. But anyway, so I had to do some stuff like that. How about you guys? Can you give me any feedback? How did that feel for you? Were you getting good notes? How many tries before you started to get a good note? Because we did 8 tries per. So what were you guys averaging? Don't know? We'll try it again. We'll see. 5? Yep. That's about right, you know, for the first going up. It's very difficult to get a good sound with a tiny bit of bow, but fiddle players kind of have to be able to do that, you know. I know Patrick Orso, he actually puts tape on people's bows to let them only use this much at first. And I understand, because they, like, when you're playing at 120 beats a minute, you only have that much bow, you know, and so you have to make it count. You have to get motion. You don't want any stopping. That's going to give you the crunch or the scrape. You need glancing motion. So I'm using my hand to do that, and as it moves along, my arm kind of moves as a result. See that? Hi, Jane.
Do you have any idea where the glue gun is? I can find all the big glue sticks, but not the glue gun.
Did you check on the counter, this counter here, anywhere?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
Sylvia was the last person to use it. No idea. The last time I saw it was on the freezer.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look. I'd have to be looking. Okay, sorry about that. Glue gun missing. So anyway, so let's give it another try, and we're going to talk more about it. This will give you guys a chance to try to notice what you're doing and notice what's involved in getting a good note. Okay, let's try it again. And Jocelyn, for you, so we're doing the double stop pattern, but we're doing little circles like this and trying to get a nice note out of it like that. Okay? Let's give it a go. 8 tries per set. 1, 2, 3, and... Okay, how did we do that time? Less attempts? More attempts? Less attempts? That's good. And you getting a decent little sound, momentary sound there? Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good.
I think I'm a natural.
Oh, good. That's great. Awesome. Very, very good. Okay, let's have one more go at it and move a little quicker this time. Okay? See if we can get it going a little quicker. So more like this. Now it's starting to bounce. The other thing is it's going to feel different in the middle of the bow and in the top of the bow. It all feels different. So when you do it in the top of the bow, you hear how much less power because there's no weight there, right? So you got to add all the weight here. In the middle of the bow is the bounciest part, so it really jumps on you. Doesn't want to grab the string. Just wants to jump off, so you have to try to keep it there. See that? The bottom of the bow kind of gives it to you. It's like for this particular maneuver, it's kind of an easier part of the bow to do it in. Okay? So let's try one more go. 1, 2, 3, go. Mine are getting better and better. I don't know about you, but what I'm feeling as getting better and making it feel better and probably as a better result is a little bit more relaxed right hand. So less arm, more hand, and more chucking that bow on there like a drumstick. Okay, how are you guys feeling? Any comments or questions? No? Okay. Work away at it. It's a very good exercise. Trying it in the different parts of the bow is a great idea. And once you get the hang of it and it starts working, we'll try going up bows. Okay, so now let's try working on, we'll work on what do you call it there? The Banish Misfortune. We're going to work on that tune there. We're going to start off nice and slow, and we'll do it a good few times and increase the speed as we go. And then we'll hit any problems or questions or weirdnesses. And then we'll try it faster. Banish. Banish Misfortune. One of the hardest tune titles to say. Banish. It's not there. Oh, that's because it's Jen's. Jen doesn't ever email anybody Banish Misfortune. Definitely not. Here we go. Alrighty. So, I'll remind you here. Great tune. Okay, so if everybody's ready, we'll go nice and easy, not too fast, and we're going to practice this tune. I just have it up on my screen in case I start to getting interesting. Which I promise I won't. So nice and easy here. Okay, this will be the tempo. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, and... I'm just going to check in. Everybody looked happily playing along eighth notes there, no problem. Anybody having any problems? No? Great. That's great. So we can try it a bit faster. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can think of a kind of a moderately feeling good tempo. Why don't we try it at that tempo? Okay, I'll get it up on my metronome so I can make sure I don't speed up. And I'm thinking that's about 90. Or maybe I'll try 80. Is it? Yeah, no, it was 85. Oh, stately pace. Gotta love it. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Nice and kind of feeling like a jig, but not overly fast. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3. tempo was, I'm guessing 93. 95. Yeah. Here's 95. Yeah, about 95. So that's not too bad. Now, how did everybody get along at 95? Anybody having problems they'd like to describe for me or complain about?
The faster we go, the closer I get to the frog.
Oh, you know what you got to do? You got to lengthen those down bows. Any available down bow, the next available down bow, try to get to the end.
Okay.
And in this tune, you're lucky because there's some long notes. And that's usually what's going to get you there if they happen to land on a down bow. Okay? Yes, Jocelyn, you have a thought?
Yeah. No, I'm not sounding great at that speed, but there's a glimmer of hope. It's like crazy. I think the more I get to know these tunes, the faster I'm going.
That's good.
Fukasteri, I know quite well, and I'm surprising myself. I'm pretty much up to speed with what you are presenting with it. So I think I don't know, I'm feeling really happy. Like I said, I'm not 100% at 95, but there's something changing. I'm getting faster. I can feel it.
That is terrific news. Now tell me something though. I'm always interested in this. So, and I'm really happy about the good news. Believe me. So, when you say you're not perfect at 95, what's suffering? Is it just an odd wrong note? Is it bad intonation? Is it bad sound? What's the worst of it?
It's so there's a couple of things. I get a lot of wrong notes, and they sound like a cough. I don't know how to say. They're not fully coming through. Like yours are nice and clear. Dee 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 dee. Like they're really nice and clear. For me, they're almost like they're cutting off and they're rushing through.
Okay.
But when I get I notice though when I get familiar with the song, that happens less and less. And but the bowing technique where you say to stay at the top of the bow, that's really, really working for me in my speed.
Good.
And the rhythm I'm getting much, much better at. So overall, I'm feeling happier, but I have to know the song.
Yeah.
Now, I really tried, we talked about this a long time ago, I tried to memorize one of those Landlady songs or whatever, the Maid, which one was it? The Drunken Landlady or one of them. And I went through and I really got it, but I found myself having to practice it every day or else I'd forget it. But when I did have it down, I was playing much faster. So however way that you guys have, you natural fiddlers have it in your brain that you have all these tunes in your head, however way you do that is, I think for me that would be the key to picking up speed.
Okay.
Just having it natural and the hands just going naturally where they should go.
Okay, so first of all, the coughing sounds you were talking about, right? Very good way to describe that sound, by the way, I gotta tell you. I've never heard anybody call it that, but that's really what it is. It's true. And what it is it's very interesting that right after you said that, you said a stopping or a cut short, feeling or of rushing. And that is exactly the description of not enough bow. Exactly that. So check this out. I'm going to play this tune with not enough bow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Okay. So you just have to lengthen the whole bow. If you're using about that much bow to do it, use this much. Try to, anyway.
Okay.
Now, everybody kind of ends up kind of shortening as they go along, but if you always try to lengthen, then you're going to get a lot less of that coughing, and you're actually going to get a way better rhythm as a result. Okay? And it's encouraging that you talked about how you're doing a little bit better with the rhythm, right? This is going to help that a lot. It sounds like you're right at the point where these two things could really help you with the bowing, with the little bit of lengthening, which will stop you from speeding up, stop you from having that coughing sound, and it'll improve that rhythm that you already have going. You're feeling it, so that's a good sign. See that? So you're going to go with that pre-existing feeling, but just give it more bow, and it's going to work out for you. Now, in terms of remembering the tune, my best advice to you is to try to hum the tune at any point during the day. Try to hum the tune in its entirety in your head or out loud if your clients don't mind. But anyway, if you can hum every note of the tune in your head, then you're never going to forget it. Ever, ever, ever. Okay?
Okay, cool.
If you go to hum that tune and you get, say, most of the way into the A part, but you make up something weird for the ending, you know, then you got to go back and you got to figure out what that ending is, right? With the fiddle in your hand or whatever. And then try to hum it again. It's a combo, eh? And the Irish people have this expression, if you can sing a tune, you can play it on your instrument even if you haven't tried to yet.
Oh, wow.
And I've
Okay.
always noticed it to be true. And I know this because of the Irish dancing show that I worked on. And the piper in the show, we had 3 pipers. The whole time I was there, we had 3 different pipers. And each one did the same tune for their pipe solo, Colonel Fraser's. It's a big one. It's an uilleann pipe tune. It's actually a Scottish tune, but it shows off the uilleann pipes like crazy. So every piper did it for their solo, and I never played it before. At the end of 95 shows, I just played it. My hand just played it because
That's
of
crazy.
sitting there and hearing it night after night after night after night. If it gets in your head, then it doesn't really matter about the hand, right? I can only think off the top of my head of about a dozen tunes that need actual attention with the hand, where you practice certain moves, you know. Most of the tunes I play are just, if I can hear them and if I can remember them, they just come out. It's no big deal. And I think it would be the same for you. So if you really tried in the middle of the day to hum, say, Banish Misfortune or one of those Poor Unfortunate Lady tunes that we were doing there, and you can successfully do it, then I guarantee the next time you pick up the fiddle, you're going to sail right through that without even looking through the music.
That's crazy. Okay, I'm gonna try that for sure.
Yeah.
You also must have like an intimate knowledge of the fiddle. When I was playing drums, for example, I used to play a lot of Rolling Stones. Even though
Charlie Watts.
I never played the music before, I knew the beat because I'd heard the song so many times, and that's how I could play it right off the bat. Same with the guitar, but I knew the guitar really intimately since I was little. Fiddle, I'm learning as an adult, I don't know it as intimately. So,
Yes. I understand,
so-
and there's a big disconnect there because it's the reason I can never get the hang of the guitar. Because with guitar, you go one open, 1, 2. Some people use 3, and then you're at the next string.
right.
Whereas the fiddle, like for me, it's open 1, 2, 3, next string, and anything else doesn't make sense to my understanding of music. You know what I mean? Like it's just like for me, it's so weird, and so you could be going through the same thing. But like I said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't like for instance, you were talking about guitar music. I could play all of Slash's solo in "Sweet Child of Mine." Because
No way.
Yeah,
Okay, you rock.
because I
You
remember-
can teach me that one day.
Yeah, when I was in junior high, I constantly listened to that record, and I could sing every note. Also, Jimi Hendrix's solos. Now, I've never tried to play them on the fiddle, but I bet you any money I could because they come along, and I can sing every note. See that? So that's what I
Okay.
want you to try doing. I think that you would get along very well doing that.
Okay, very cool. You're like my official hero from now on. You play Slash? Oh my god.
Yeah, well, Slash is an awesome guitar player. Like people
He
are always
really is.
surprised at how many records he's been on. He's been on like thousands of records. That guy, he's an amazing solo guy. They say that he can come into the studio and put out like play guitar on like 6 tracks in like 45 minutes and leave. He's a complete pro. That guy, like, doesn't matter the key or anything. It's surprising, you know. But anyway, there you go. Anybody
Yeah,
else?
His solos are so melodic. He just is
Oh, of course.
unbelievable.
Absolutely, like this stuff. But how about you, Karen? How did you do at the 95 there? Did you encounter any difficulties?
Yeah, you know, I think was something that, oh, I'm forgetting names here. But anyway, I was, if I didn't know all the notes, I got a little lost. And then there was also spots where I might have slurred, but then all of a sudden I was doing, you know, single bow, and then I couldn't keep up.
Well, single bow always works in a jig, right? It always works. It does not have a chance of not working.
Okay.
It's a little bit different than
I
reels.
didn't go fast enough though, unless maybe I was using too much bow, and I do
Yeah.
know I got the jerky arm. I don't, you know, I
Oh,
haven't I need someone to like strap that upper arm, quiet. But anyway.
Have I ever told you about the doorway? Have I ever talked about the doorway?
Oh, yeah, no, you have, yeah. And so your upper arm can't move, and you're doing.
Now, I'm always careful when I'm talking about the doorway. Hi, Simone. How you doing? Because I'm worried that people are going to get this idea that you have to like immobilize your right arm, because it's not like that.
Yeah.
You just have to keep it from doing the work for you, right? And people notice this. It's interesting that you talk about this right now, because we're at the 95, and people always notice it when the tempo goes up, was the right arm stiffens. See that? So you might be okay at 85, you're doing this nicely, the stately pace, but then when the tempo quickens a bit, it's kind of turns into this. See that?
Yeah.
With the upper arm involved. Yeah. The upper arm being involved makes it really hard to go fast, because basically what happens is you're trying to join up the very fast muscles of the left hand, right? The fast twitch muscles with big bicep muscle. It's never going to be able to keep up, ever, right? So that's why the faster you go, and you can see, because you know good fiddle players, Jerry O'Connor, for instance. So when he's going quick, he's like this. There's no arm moving, barely any arm moving at all. Like, it's there for the big up bows, right? But for the most part, it's just this. And this, they can keep up with each other. Because it's the same muscle group. See that? So isolating the arm in the doorway just a little bit. It doesn't take much, right? Especially for adults, because you're aware of it. But you don't lock it to the doorway, and you don't sort of kind of squeeze it in. You just sit, as my dad's teacher used to say, as if you were normal. And you just have your elbow kind of here, right, where it should be, and it's just in front of the doorway, so if you start to get into the game, you get a little bump there. See that? That's all it is. And the bump does wonders. Like, when I was working in person with people, I would use my bow at the elbow. Susan knows about this, because I did it to her lots of times. And so I'd have the bow here at the ready, at the elbow, at the right elbow, and if it moved, they would touch the end of my bow and give that little bump, right? For most people, I wouldn't even have to touch the elbow. Just the bow being there made it melt. So it really does have a good result. So you might give that a try if that's getting in your way of going fast. In terms of the single bowing, it's different than reels. Reels, you have to do some slurs, like the up after a long note or whatever. But jigs, you really should be able to do up as down the same, right? Diggity, 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 diggity. I call it the downity and the uppity. See that? And it really, by rights, you should. It doesn't matter. So, look, I'll just give you an example. I'll start Bandus Misfortune going down. Now I'll start it going up. No difference. See that? So with jig rhythm, if you get it right, shouldn't really matter with the single bowing. It's actually, it could be something that you hold on to like a life preserver. All right? Anyway, shall we try it again? 3 more times, starting at 85, and we'll pump her up once more. This is Bandus Misfortune there, Simone. We learned last time. All right. Okay, so 85 to start, and I'll just make sure. So that was 95, so I'm going to take, oh no, we were playing it at 95, yeah. And I might up it the third time, we'll see. I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3. right. How's everybody feeling now? Anyone? How did you do, Calada? I didn't get to talk to you after.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had to step away. The Maple Leafs, they're playing right now, so I was like, gotta catch a minute. But
The what? The Maple Leaf?
Maple Leafs, yeah. It's their first playoff game.
Oh, the Leafs. Oh, I see.
Great. And I have a confession to make. I ran out because I wanted to hear the opening anthems. I love the anthems, the American and the Canadian ones.
Yeah. You know who, my buddy Ross in my band, North Atlantic Drift, his other band, Poor Angus from Hamilton, they used to sing the national anthem at the Air Canada Centre for the Leafs games there for a while. It was years ago now. Well, I know it was a long time ago because the day that his son Nolan was born, his first son was born, finally he came along and everybody was good and he was with his mother, and then Ross went and sang the anthem at the game. It was very funny, but anyway, I understand. I totally understand. Anyway, how did you do with the jigs this time?
It was good. I'm still like getting familiar with the song, but it was actually better than I expected, and I'm like following pretty good. So just like more practicing.
Yep.
And
awesome, very good. And Simone, this is kind of new to you. You look like you were, but you got bits and pieces of it, man, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely need to practice, but I really like it. It's really cool.
That's great too. And if you want to get more familiar with this, for everybody, because everybody so far has talked about being, not 100% familiar with this tune yet. And this is one of the most common Irish tunes there is. You go into YouTube, you start listening, especially pipers, because it's meant for the pipes. And you could probably spend an hour listening to different versions of this tune. And I encourage that. I think that would be a great thing to do. And at the end of that hour, you will have it in your head, whether you want it there or not. Okay, now let's think of a few jigs that we can put with it to form a set. And then we're going to learn Mountain Road. And I'll leave it with you guys to put the set together on your own. And like whatever we decide to do. But can somebody remind me, what jigs do we have under our belts? We do play the Swallowtail, right? That's kind of a no-brainer. What about, let me see here. Let's look at my YouTube channel. It'd be the best thing to do. So many tunes. My YouTube channel has like 300 some videos on it now. Okay. Your channel. Videos. Oh, we got to learn the Shogun Farewell. My beginner class learned it the other night. And that would be one that you guys could do a great job of. Let's see here. Have we ever done Pipe on the Hob? If we haven't, we should. We'll do it sometime. That's a great jig. Let me see here. Dr. O'Neill's. Oh, that was a tune and a half. We did that for a while, I remember. The Banshee, the Plains of Oil. That's a great tune too. Let's see, what other jigs have we done? Calliope House. Oh, have we done that one? I'm going to play it. Somebody tell me if we've done it. We have? Oh, well, we'll refresh it sometime. What's a great tune by Dave Richardson. So we'll get that, but it seems like not everybody here has. So it might have been long in the past. This class has been going for a couple of years now, I realize, which is insane. It's amazing how much time has passed. Geez, I'm seeing lots of jigs I'm seeing lots of reels and hornpipes, but I'm not seeing a huge number of jigs. We might have to get a couple. I'll tell you what we'll do is, we'll do the Swallowtail. Did we do Knotman's Rambles? Is that one that we have done? Not sure? Oh, wow. Maybe we haven't done a whole lot of jigs. It's just too bad. Cliffs of Moher and the Mug of Brown Ale. There we go. Why don't we do that? We'll do those. Okay? Blast from the Past. And it's on my YouTube channel. I'll send it to you guys if you've forgotten, and I'll send you the music. But we'll do the Banished Misfortune, and then the Cliffs of Moher and the Mug of Brown Ale. Okay, that's what we'll do. It'll be a great set. So mark that down, and I'll email everybody, and I'll email you the music for all three, and we'll put together that set. But that would be a really good. And if you forget how the Cliffs of Moher goes. Great tune. And then the Mug of Brown Ale, I think, is... Yeah, that's it there. That'll be a great tune or set to review and get. So it's going to be Cliffs of Moher, Mug of Brown Ale, but first, Banished Misfortune, okay? So you get to get familiar with those tunes again. My microphone's all the way down here. Can't believe you guys have heard me at all tonight. And for now, let's work on the Mountain Road. We're going to learn it right from nothing. Which is kind of my favorite, I have to say. Love right from nothing. So first of all, I'll play it. Played it twice because it's so short. Thank you. Anyway, and it's really easy. It's a beginner tune, so I figured you guys would get it in about 5 minutes. And it's such a common tune. Everybody plays it. So I'm just going to get out the music that I sent you. I did an exhaustive search on the session.org, the good version of it. I'm going to start doing reviews of the session.org versions with Brian on YouTube. We're going to be very, very cutting and harsh. Okay, here we go. Now, so I'm going to play it kind of nice and easy, not too fast, so that you guys have a chance to follow along the music. Everybody got the music there in front of you? You can see it? As I can share my screen. And I'll go nice and easy, and you can follow along. Okay, very simple. You can hear that there's like 3 phrases. There's this one. That's 2 phrases there. That's phrase 1 and phrase 2, except that half of phrase 2 is the same as phrase 1. And then we got phrase 1 again. And then the ending. And then the B part follows the exact same role. First phrase. actually first phrase, second phrase, first phrase, second phrase. That's it. That's how the entire thing for the B part. So no second endings, no weird 3-part things or anything like that. Very straight up phrases, 2-bar phrases. So, first phrase. Long F. Yes.
Did you send that out, or are we just learning it by ear?
No, I did send it out. I did. I'll look and make sure and see why you didn't get it. You're on here.
Okay, go Summit.
I'll send it to you again.
I didn't get it.
Okay, you guys got it. No problem. Okay, it was last week.
No, I didn't get it.
It was last week because we didn't get to it last week.
Yeah.
But I can send it to you right away here. It's not a problem. The wonders of modern technology. No one has to wait for anything again or even wonder about anything. Those days are over. Okay. So I'm just going to play this first phrase, a 2-bar phrase, and it's the long F. And that's kind of the whole idea with this tune is the long F. See that? Very simple. How many Fs are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 Fs. Sounds like a Cape Breton talking. 7 Fs. That's the first phrase. So let's get that real nice and easy now. Long F, and then A, F, B, F, A, F. And then another long F, A, F, E, F, D, F. Okay, let's try it. Nice and slow. Ready, go. Okay, let's do it again just to practice it. Ready, long F. One more to be sure. Ready, go. Okay, that's the first phrase. Now the second phrase starts exactly the same way, but then it goes to the G. So it does the F, A, F, B, F, A, F. And then a long G. See that? That's kind of a modified arpeggio there. So it's G, F, G, E, D, B, D. So let's try it. 2 bars at the end of the first line. Okay? 2 bars from the end of the first line. Long F. Ready, go. Yeah, let's do it again. Ready, go. One more time to be sure. Ready, go. Okay, and then we do the first phrase again, and we'll just review it here. Ready, go. And then we got the ending. Now the ending is really simple, but it's got a little trick to it. So we got F, A, digga-da. You can play along A, but that's very boring. And then B, A, F, A. Sorry, B, A, F, B. And then this little scale-uppy thing. And that C is a pickup for the next part. Okay? This tune is a single, meaning that the parts are only 4 bars long, and that's why there's no repeat sign there. So that C at the end of the line is the pickup note for the B part. Now let's try the last 2 bars of the second line together. F, A, digga-da. Ready, go. Let's do it again. Same thing. Ready, go. One more time to be sure. Ready, go. Yeah, everybody feeling okay about that? Okay, so now let's go right from one end to the other. First phrase, second phrase going down to the G string, first phrase again, and the ending we just practiced. Let's see if we can do it. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, how did we do? Everybody looks delighted. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, and. Let's do it again. It doesn't loop very well, this particular tune, so we're going to have to just kind of do it again, okay? One more time. Ready, 2, 3, go. Okay, how are we doing? Everybody getting all of that? Any problems at all? Anything at all? I can help. No? Excellent. Little faster, then we'll learn the B part. So kind of like this. Okay? Little sprightly. Little spring in our step. Ready, and. One more time. Okay, now talking about the second part. In the second part, it starts off with this big D, C, D. See that? And that is just screaming out for a roll because it almost already is a roll. Do you see how that works now? You see that in tunes all the time. You see, between two notes like that, if it's almost a roll, it is a roll. And so I would play a roll over those three notes there, a D roll. See what I mean? And also in the first part, in the A part, can anybody tell me where I was putting in a roll? It's a sneaky one, as the Irish people I know say. Anybody tell me where I was putting a roll in there? I'll do it again. Anyone? What do you say?
Anytime you were in an F.
Well, there's seven Fs per phrase.
Or you were playing alone.
Calida had an idea. Which one did you think there, Calida?
At the second bar, like where the long F is.
Correct. Very good. And the way that I'm managing that, because as you know, a roll takes a dotted quarter note to go by. So that quarter note isn't enough to do a roll on. So I tie it together with the eighth note that comes before, forming an up bow roll. So it looks like this. See that? Up bow roll. Kind of like Toss the Feathers or many other tunes that use the up bow roll. See that? And it's kind of a bit of an easier and quicker way to get through it. So a lot of people, when you're going fast, you can see. See that? Neat and tidy and nice and easy. Okay, everybody noticing that? So you might want to blast that in there sometimes when we're going slow in the hopes that it might come in as you're trying to play it. Okay, now let's see about this roll that opens up the second part. So I play instead of D-C-D, I play a great big D roll there. And that's a down bow roll. So that's the long ornamental one where you want to take your time and everybody hears all the notes of the roll. And then I play B-A. So that's how I bow that. I play the D roll and then a B-A in the up bow. Actually the D as well. And then a great big down for the F. And then I'm ready to do another roll. And that's the rhythm that my arm takes on in the second part. Now, without the rolls, let's get the melody. Okay? So we got D, C, D, and then a B and an A, and then a great big arpeggio, another D, C, D up the scale. Okay, let's see if we can play that much. I'm gonna drink of water here. My God, I talk a lot. That's better. Okay. D, C, D. Ready, 2, 3, go. All right, how did everybody do there? I'm impressed. We just kept going. I realized that the last bar of that line we already know, right? So we were able to sail right through it. Let's do it again. D, C, D. Ready, go. Again. Again. One more. Okay, so like I was saying before, the two lines in the B part are exactly the same. So that's it. You've got it. You've got the tune. Okay. Now let's start at the top. Oh, I should say, it with the rolls, it sounds like this. See how that works there? 3 rolls in a row. Why don't we try that if you're able? If you don't like the roll, you don't want to do the roll, that's fine. Just do D, C, D. But this is a good opportunity, so let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3, and... Again. now, are the rolls working okay? Such a good opportunity to practice those 6 rolls. You try to get them every time. Well, yeah, 6 rolls, and if you play the tune 3 times, that's a lot of rolls. 24 rolls. And if you got 20, you'd be doing very, very well. Okay? Now, shall we try the whole tune? Anybody got any questions or problems before we try the whole tune? Anything at all? Okay, that's it. We're going to do it. Okay. I will put all the rolls in as we go along. Do them or don't do them, but I'll put them there so that you know where they go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. B part. Check in. How are we feeling? Isn't it a great tune? Once you get it start doing the rhythm of the phrases, it just kind of takes over and does its own thing, eh? Great tune. Anybody having any problems or difficulties that they want to talk about or even just vent about? Doesn't even have to be about the tune. Could just be life in general. I don't mind. I'm up for it at this point. I've been working with contractors for months now. There was nobody there at my house today. So me and Jen went and got the vanity at Lowe's. And today was the day, of course, that we loaned our Highlander to somebody to go to Niagara, and they loaned us their Fit. So we got this vanity, trying to put it into a Honda Fit, does not fit. So we put it on the roof, no big deal. But we could very slowly go to the other house and load it in there, and there's not a soul in there. Nobody doing anything. So it's kind of like, huh? But they are at the end stages. See, they're kind of waiting for a few things to be in place. But anyway, so... okay. Anybody having anything besides contractor issues? Great. Let's go a little bit tiny bit faster. starting to turn into a tune now. This is one of the first tunes I learned in Toronto from a great piper called Kelly Hood, who now lives near Ottawa. Great piper. One of these Toronto pipers that plays both Uilleann pipes and Highland pipes. It seems to be a Toronto thing. The bilingual piper. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, and... One more. How are we doing? That was fast. That was faster than I anticipated I would go. I apologize, but everybody was kind of cheerily just going along with it, so I just figured I'd go with it.
Could you address the bowing?
Okay, yes. So,
I think your bowing is helping you go faster than we're able to.
yes, yeah, and I did talk about it earlier, but I'm gonna specifically talk about it now, because I only mentioned it. So, and especially since it looks like pretty well everybody is doing the rolls that are in the tune. And when you get the rolls, that's when the bowing really helps you along. So first of all, I'm starting up. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but I'm starting up. See that? Now, starting up, you see how this tune is a jumper tune, right? And you've heard jumper tunes, like Cooley's Reel is a jumper tune. Drowsy Maggie is a jump. Anything where you're kind of going from one note and hopping up to another one and then back to that note and then hopping up to another one and then back to that note. Those are, jumper tunes, right? And with those type of tunes, you can actually start up. Because if I play that F in an up bow, watch what happens to the rest. You see how easy that looks? The direction does the string changing for you. See that? And then if I do the roll that I was talking about in the up bow, that sets me up for the next bit. So like this. See how easy that phrase becomes. It becomes like 3 moves. And then I keep going. So I would slur the E in with the F on the up bow. And another one there. See that? Slurring the F into the G there. And I would do another slur into the F there. Up, up. Now this part here you can do in a couple of ways. So let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go through it. And you can write it down if you want, but I like to talk about bowing as ideas. But, you can go ahead and write it down because it'll help. But anyway, so I go the F, A, digga-da, up, up. So up, up, down. And then the B, A, B I do in an up bow. And it's a very Irishy thing. When there's a few notes on the same string, you play it in one bow and you get the popping sound. You hear that? And when you put a little speed on your bow, it really pops. And then the very end there, those two Ds. So I got the up bows for this, down for the D, and then I go up, up. So no, sorry. I go up, down, and do this very common Irish move. You see how there's two Ds in a row there? So when you have two notes in a row like that, you can play them in an up bow and play a grace note between them. See that? Just like the pipers do. It's a really nice thing to do and a very Irishy thing to do. And also the next note as well. So the D, D, C in an up bow with a grace note. So okay, so that's how I get out of that part. I'm going to play those last two bars again. So up, down, dig it up. Up, up, down. Up, up, up. Down. Up, down. Up, up, up. And then the roll. See that? That's how I do that part. Okay, I think I'm going to get close to Patrick Orso's dream of saying bowing while he's playing. That's his. He told me that's his dream, to be able to say the bowing while he's teaching somebody the tune. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep working on it. I'll do it again. Down, up, dig it up. Up, up, down. Up, up, down. Up, down. Up, and roll. Now you're doing a big roll. Okay. Now, that particular thing, the way I did that, is like a dozen tunes that do that I can think of right off the top of my head. Especially that double note, grace note thing. That's a very common move. Okay? And then in the second part, we got the roll. And then big ups. See that? The only note that I did in a down bow there was the F. Besides the roll. I do all three bars the same way. Down, up, 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 down, up. Down, up, 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 down, up. Down, up, 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 down, up. And then we got down, up, up. Just regular. Down, up, up, down, up, down, up. And then the same exact thing. Down, up, 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 down, up, down. Up, 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 down, up, down. Up, 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 down, up. I'm going to tell Patrick I did it. I got it. Saying the bowing while you're playing. But anyway, can you see the rhythm that takes on? Watch my arm again. I can do it all night. See, it really helps. And Susan's right. It is what allows me to go quicker with it, because you're turning a whole bunch of moves into three, basically. Okay? So has everybody got that idea? Now, I know it's a lot to try to get in there, but they're elements, eh? And that's why I mentioned the ones that you find in different tunes. It's important to get those elements, because the next time you run into them, your arm might just do them on its own. All right? Let's play this tune a few more times, unless there's any more very good questions like that. Anybody else? Okay, let's give her another few goes, and then that'll be enough for tonight. I've worked you guys hard enough, and you'll probably want to see what the Leafs are doing. All right. My father was a hockey fanatic, and my brothers are all hockey fanatics. They're all the car dealers, but it's the Habs, the Montreal Canadiens, were the team of choice back in Cape Breton, Les Habitants. Very important. And when they were playing at home, Dad would put the TV on the other side of the living room because it got the French channel. Here we go. Not too fast. Ready, and... feeds into itself. So you got to be careful. You got to make sure you got a tune that will help you get out of Mountain Road. Sometimes that's not easy. Anyway, there you go, guys. We've covered a lot of ground there tonight, and it's really good stuff. And so, like I said, if you're having trouble remembering the tunes, just try to hum them at any time during the day. And then if you think you got it right, go back to my YouTube video, hum along with me, and you'll see if you got it right. See what I mean? The thing is, though, is that back in the old days when people got this music strictly by ear, there was no professionals. There were no professional musicians. Maybe a couple. Johnny Doherty, maybe a couple, you know. But people would do something else for a living. So that means that they would only actually play tunes every couple of weeks. That was the normal, right? And like play tunes on their own. But you got to remember that these places were remote. So you didn't just walk all the way to town every weekend for a ceilidh. Like it was not feasible. So what my dad used to tell me, what happens is you would go and you get a tune from somebody, and then you go back to your regular job and you'd be thinking of the tune in your head, trying to remember it and trying to sing it, and you'd reinvent it. And I remember I did a lot of that. When I first started playing the fiddle again, after all those years, I was playing with my friend Craig, and it was exactly the same thing because I was a drummer full time. So I would go and play a few tunes with Craig on the flute. He was doing Irish at the time. I was in Newfoundland. And then I'd go back to playing the drums all the time, and I'd be thinking of the tunes, and then I'd get together with him, and I'd play what I thought was the tune. And I remember he would just kind of shake his head and say, well, if you're not going to play the way it's supposed to be, I don't know, we're going to have to figure something out. And it was just this kind of method, age-old method, of reinventing it in your head. And for some reason, it kind of like it pushes aside all the variables. And you know, when you get back with your buddy after a couple of weeks, like when I got back with Craig and he played me the way it was supposed to be, it's this light bulb. It's like, oh, of course, you know, couldn't be any other way. Like, and so that's really what I call the understanding of the tune. And it's an old thing. So let those different versions come into your head. It's okay. When you go back with my video and get reminded, it'll help. It actually helps. It'll eliminate those variables. All right? And we'll see how you get along. I'd be very anxious to see how everybody gets along with that process this week, okay? So let's talk lots about it next time. All right? Good job, everybody. Oh, good luck to the Leafs. Go, Leafs, go. See you guys later. Bye.